I am back. And you know something? I got a fucking hostage this time. Go ahead, try some shit on me, motherfuckers. Yeah. I gotta put this back together. You know. This poor fucking thing. I have abused the fuck out of this thing, man. Hey, they said I could abuse it all the fuck I want to as long as I pay for it. Yeah. And I have. And, it's almost been worth the money, I think. This is one of them Donner. Donner, not like Donna, but said extra rednecky. No, Donner. It's that jazz telly thing, you know, they were selling $159.99 plus text tag and title. This weekend only to approved customers. Or whatever their fucking sales spiel is. Now you might be wondering, they don't make one like that. It's like, yeah, they don't. I made this one like this. See, the thing is about, you know, with me is being like an autistic asshole is that shit ain't good enough for me. You ain't good enough for me. They don't make nothing good enough for me. You know why? Because they don't fucking care. Only I care. Only I care. I make it right. There's a lot of good import guitars that you could start off with, like, and I kind of see it as I'm expecting a neck and a body. And maybe a couple little cheap parts that either I'll use or I'll stash away for some other project later. But I expect neck and a body to be usable. So for $159, I got that thin line body. It's one of them Telemasters, Telejackers, or Telestacker, or whatever. You know what the fuck it's called. Fuck, I don't remember. Shit. I ain't right ahead. Don't expect me to remember shit. But what I did was, see, I got it in that 3-tone sunburst, right? Problem is I only got enough 3-tone sunburst shit laying around. And I got a Strat 3-tone sunburst. Well, I got that motherfucker right there. Thing's too bright. Son of a bitch. Hold on, I'll tell you what. Turn that fuck off. There we go. And she like to argue just for fun. You ever had a troublemaker woman like that? Yeah, I bet they were fun too, though. God almighty. I tell you what, man, they put a feeling on you down there, like I know it's just gonna cause me long-term emotional pain, but yet it also is wonderful. Too orangey. Why can't he figure out what he wants to fucking get? It's like, shut up, you stupid bitch. If you got purple hair, don't respond. She'll catch you. Kind of reminds me of Kelly. Bitch, I've had the story about bitch. And don't say that I'm being mean calling her bitch, because if I don't call her bitch, she'll give me shit. You know what fuck my name is, motherfucker. Don't like stupid. Love you, though. Oh, man. She's fuck crazy shit. Love her, yeah. Sometimes the crazy ones can be cool as shit, too, though. So, sometimes it's a trade-off. They're the most fun when somebody else is fucking them, that's for sure. Or, you know what I mean, when someone else is, in a deeply committed, relationship where they treat them as an equal, and respects their power as a vagina. This was 3-tone. I got that motherfucker back there that's always blocking that other light, just so it looks like there's an aura coming from behind it, like kind of like that suitcase from Pulp Fiction, What the fuck was that? Did you hear something? They told me the voices wouldn't talk to me no more. Those motherfuckers, they lied. Oh, that's that fucking Hellcat. God damn, that thing's loud. Told you that thing sounded mean. Yep. I painted it. This is like the 6th time I painted it. There's so many coats paint on this motherfucker, like, I was gonna I got a heat gun I was gonna take to it, and I was like, that would work great on one hand, But then it's like you get a lot of the big parts of it off real quick, and the rest of it will come off. It takes fucking ever got shit off. You guys still sand it and shit, and I was like, well, I got some acetone. I mean, I don't, but you know, I guess my measuring acetone. You know, I don't know, my fucking landlord maintenance. I don't know. I don't remember seeing anything saying I can't keep solvents or fucking spray paint in my apartment. They had some shit because I set out the fucking fire alarm accidentally last week. Well, I don't know why that fucking sensor's so sensitive. Why the fuck is it in that cubby hole over there? Perfect place to go fucking spray something like this fucking pit guard. South damn building alarm. You know what's fucked up? Waited like half hour, fire department to show up. And finally, maintenance people showed up. And then they were all freaking out and shit. And it was like, you know, they were trying to figure out how to turn it off. They wouldn't take the sensor off the wall and take it apart. I'm like, you fucking retards. I said, hey, downstairs in the lobby, there's a fire panel. You know, big red panel, you know, looks like something that's, you know, electronics and shit. Yeah, there's like a fucking, like a breaker relay, you know, either a turn one or it's a slide one or something. You know, so it'll say reset on there. Just go down there and reset it. And it should turn the building off. Fucking maintenance people didn't know how to fucking turn that off. You know why? Because I'm the only maintenance man around here. It's like, yeah, how many maintenance people does it take to figure out how to turn off the building system alarm? One. This one, because they ain't maintenance people. I am. I used to run maintenance for an office complex. It was like 225,000 square feet by myself. So I sit here and I'm like, they sit these three blind mice up here. You know, the three stooges of fucking man. I felt sorry. They did not know. But here's the thing. They were hired probably by people who probably their relatives or friends. You know, and then nobody bothered to, you know, show them the thing. They don't know what they need to know. You know, it's not their fault necessarily, but it's kind of like, it's just sad because everywhere I go here, it's like that. No one's ever like really prepared. I just don't get it. It's like they're so laid back to the point where it's like it's laid back. It's like the South is laid back, but then some things we take really seriously. Like, I mean, serious as a heart attack. Like, serious as we're gonna like the whole community's gonna murder your ass publicly. Kind of serious, you know. Some things. I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying that's an example of how serious we can get about shit. And it's kind of like, you know, whatever. So I painted it. What is it? First time I painted a Pontiac engine like a bluish green, like a blue. It's like a interesting color. It's like an aqua. I don't know. It just didn't look right. It was like an engine paint, so it was high temp. So it'll come off. It'll probably a little harder to get it off because it's like enamel engine paint. And then I painted it white. You know, sort of like this, but it was like a regular white. You know, like a automotive grade. You know, Rust-Oleum. But you know, the auto section Rust-Oleum, not the hardware section. And I got bored with that. It's like, you know, I want to try something else because I already got, you know, a white guitar. And then I tried a blue color that was this really nice, like French blue. Kind of looks like the same kind of blue, like the one that Eric Clapton's he's been using like in recent years, is like that color. And it just didn't look right to me. And then it's like, you know, I want to paint white again. And I was like, fuck, I'm out of that white automotive paint. But I know I got something else. It's like, I found that heirloom white, which is essentially like a slightly eggshell or almost like a little slightly pearl. And I was like, that's actually what I would have preferred over a solid white. Because the last time I did it white and then I sprayed a little bit of, you know, nitrocellulose lacquer over it. Really just kind of, because here's the thing, this shit won't dry. It's like, especially in the summertime being so fucking sticky. Because it's not this thing. This ain't the automotive Rust-Oleum. This is the fucking hardware area Rust-Oleum. So it really is like that softer, more like plasticky kind of paint. And the problem is like you let that shit sit overnight and then go pick it up. And if you hold one spot for too long with pressure on it, like, and then your fingerprint will be indented onto the fucking thing. You know, I was like, damn it. So I always get a couple thin, just really, really thin coats because it kind of helps. Yeah, because it was a satin, and then I put a semi-gloss. I don't ever use gloss. Gloss sucks. First off, it runs way too easily. And satin sucks because it just looks cloudy. It's like this way, it's almost got that, it's already got the vintage shine to it. You're not be able to see it because it's white up against its background and everything, so there's no telling what it might look like. I don't know. I just don't know. Yeah, because plus it's kind of like a really standard, like very non-special 3-color sunburst. Like I don't even think you can. It's like one of those you can't even see any wood grain. Plus it's a plywood top, so it's kind of like I think they just spray it solid color, like it's like a yellowish color in the middle, and then kind of an orangey red, and then a black around it, and then it's that plastic coat dip fucking polyurethane. I fucking hate polyurethane. So I'll do this, and the thing is that way it doesn't have that plasticky. Even though this is a plasticky kind of paint, it doesn't have that that plasticky look to it, And I usually just do one thin coat on the back, and then what I did was I was gonna say that's the stock bridge that's on. I didn't even replace the saddles. That's what came with the Donner. But then I remembered, oh yeah, it had a chrome one. So this is actually a bridge I have from something else. It's the same grade though. It's the same fucking thing. It just happens to have that fake gold plating on it. And they're the same copper like zinc, well actually no, they're not. The ones that were on here were like that rolled stamped steel. Of course they were probably a fairly low grade of the steel. Those are actually not bad saddles, but they rattle. And so I've got tons of these cheap zinc block ones. And there's only like one Strat. There's only like one fender. Well, actually, I've got my Sunburst Strat, which has not yet been anywhere around here. It sits over there on that fucking chair for now, because it's got an old square neck from the '90s that I over tightened it, and it's just I forgot it's a single action, and I'm gonna decide whether I want to take the fretboard off of it and either pull out the truss rod, see if I can reset it, or just buy an upgraded truss rod for it, or I just want to throw the fucking thing away or beat the flying shit of it, right next to the dumpster, and then throw all the pieces in there. It's an anniversary, 40th anniversary fender, neck, but from Squire, and it is a real rosewood, and it's actually a really nice neck. Because, it's been neck quality has gone downhill tremendously. A stock cheap Fender rosewood neck from the 90s is going to be probably a lot better than your garden variety, Fender Mexican rosewood neck right now. Just because even the wood quality, there's just so much more of, some than others. And so it's a regular neck. Now here's the thing. These edges are kind of like they're not rolled. Get a sanding sponge. Fuck it up. Go at it with 45-degree angle. It's kind of uncomfortable at first, but if you can get that edge a little rolled, you can go into each individual one in between. But don't be a fucking pussy. Just go ahead and take a sponge to you. I don't want to damage the finish. It's a $160 guitar. The second you bought it, it became an $85 guitar used on Craigslist. Okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about your little finish, all right? It'll be all right, sweetheart, I promise. Okay, now go to bed, sweetheart. Mom will be in there and tuck you in a little while. And then I also fucked it up on this end, too. Because, see, here's the thing. If you want these things to be good, you're going to have to fuck these things up. But, you fuck it gently, you know what I mean? I like that sometimes. You can't always fuck them hard, so they won't be fucked gently. But, you got... I'm gonna scratch the finish. What do you think it's gonna do? Oh my God, it's broken now, isn't it? I went through the finish almost, but I took all that take all the finish off the back. Okay, just do it. Fucking listen to me. I accept no liability because I know I am not incorrect. Take the fucking finish off because that fucking urethane sucks a giant fucking donkey dick, and you do not want to fucking deal with that. It's also a little bit, I know the profile of it is a little fat for me. Of course, I'm a pussy. I like a thinner neck. I like a flatter, thinner, like profile. I like a wide fretboard, but I don't like a real deep, neck, profile. So I took that shit all the way off. And I put the Donner plate back on it. Made sure it went on the Donner guitar because I realized that was on one of my Strats while ago. I was like, I don't even pay attention when I take shit apart. I just like, where's the neck plate? There's one. They're all fucking. Well, you should get the Fender, or vintage Fender one because they're actually real. They're like real nickel, steel, and like there's no fucking difference. It does not fucking matter. The one thing you do want to do is those little plastic plates that are behind some. Like when you order one, like an Asian one, it's got a little black plastic little sleeve thing. But throw that fucking thing in the trash immediately. Trust me. I don't know why they do that. It's like a fucking trick. Just use just the plate. Don't use that little black plastic shim there. Now, I don't particularly care for that generic headstock shape that they have on the Donners, which got that like pointy thing. So what I did is I actually have like a template for a telly. So I cut it and I got it perfect all the way about here. And then what happened was when I was trying to like cut it in, the saw cut it, grabbed it, and then ripped off, and then that was done. And it wasn't quite right here. But the rest of it was right. And then it was kind of like, I probably should have left the fuck alone. I just don't like that. It's like, the thing is, I actually like when people have like strat necks on tellies. And I'm not talking about on the custom, like from the 70s where it actually had a strat neck on it. Like Eric Clapton and Dwayne Allman were known for that. For sticking like rosewood strat necks on Telecasters. Because they do tend to have a very different profile. So unless you want to go and completely reshape it by hand yourself, you probably have to do that. What I do is I get a 22 fret strat neck. If I'm going to build one, I usually don't buy a actual telly, shape, headstock. I'll buy one that's a strat headstock, and I get a 22 fret, and that way when it sits in and the bolt holes line up, the end of the fretboard covers up the fact that the bottom of the base doesn't exactly fit it. It's fine. It's fine. As long as it's, good and snug on the sides. And, because the bottom of the neck will still sit at the very, bottom of the cavity. It's just, you can cut pieces to fit in it or wedge it in there if you're really that paranoid. But it will hold it just fine. I've never had a problem with it. I just like the way, I like strat necks better if it is like a strat type profile. Because strat profile and telly profile are different. Telly profiles are typically a narrower fretboard, or they feel narrower at the nut, and then they feel really, really fat. Like they're really, it's like you got to have like a big hand to wrap around it. They're hard to play for a reason, though. They're really for like, it's like I tell people, like vintage spec tellies, especially a telly, or even vintage spec strat, those are for advanced players who actually play guitar better on something that's hard as shit to play. Like Steve Ray Vaughan, there's a reason why he uses giant strings. There's a reason why he's got a giant fucking baseball bat size fucking neck profile. And there's also a reason why he's got bass frets on it. And there's a reason why his fucking strings, if you ever see it in the video, you can tell how high they are. They're fucking high. I don't know how the fuck he plays that shit, especially down low. But the reason why is because he plays everything he plays, whether it's chords or whether it's, notes, he string mutes the whole rest of the neck. If he plays one note, like, Pride and Joy. I can't play it like he does because my stuff ain't set up. You really do have to have heavier gauge strings, a little bit more action. And then what you got. And you got to have that in between each note too. And because of the fact that it's so hard to push all the strings down, when he goes, he's just pushing down that one string to get that one note, and it's just kind of like, whichever way his other fingers fall, as long as they're just deadening that other string. And that's why I said that when Reese Winans joined, he was actually considering hiring a second guitar player for Double Trouble so that he could basically play rhythm. And all he had to do was worry about solos or single notes, and singing. But I think it was like the rest of the band and his management team talked him out of it because they said, you're going to have a pretty heavy-duty fuck guitar player. You're going to make a superstar out of whoever the fuck joins you. If they can keep up with you, even just playing the rhythm. there he's going to be a superstar. It's like, and we still think it's a good idea. The fact that you're the guitar guy and you had to hire, it's like, it might take away some of your cred. If it's like you had to hire a guitar guy to come in and help, with the guitar parts, it's like, I'm just tired of having to play rhythm parts too and sing and plus like, it's too much work. It really is. I mean, that was a lot of shit to have to handle. And like I can't. Well, I mean, I can't really sing. I sound like shit. Every once in a while, I can kind of get it in key. Depends on what it is. Like more country type stuff, I seem to do better at. Just because I got that voice, And it was like a preacher man talking on TV, putting down a rock and roll. He wants me to send a donation, 'cause he's worried about my soul. Now Jesus walked on water, and I know that is true. Sometimes I think that preacher man like to do a little walking too, and I ain't asking nobody for nothing. If I can't get it on, and the thing is, I'm sure I'm way off fucking key because I don't have it to kind of like get my key in order, but if I am going to, it's going to be something like that. I'm not going to be able to like cover no Michael Jackson. Like, like, oh, it ain't going to happen. I'm willing to make a fucking complete fool of myself in public, but only to a certain extent, okay? So. Now here's the thing. Throw the fucking tuners away. Seriously. If you buy one of these, the tuners are fucking garbage. Absolute garbage. And that's the thing that kind of gets me is like you get a pretty decent neck, you get a pretty decent body. The bridge is totally usable. As long as you're okay with those dual, bridges, meaning like these, if you notice, if you could, if you want to look down and check out my hole. See my hole right there, my holes. There's a line of holes in there. There's some slightly smaller holes underneath it. And tight holes are good ones you want to use. That's if you want to do top mount, kind of like a 59 telly. These cheap tellies these days, they're kind of getting lazy, and they don't want to do. Like if this had been a top mount, I would have not bought the motherfucker. I ain't paying $169 for a fucking body and a neck, and they ain't too fucking lazy to goddamn drill holes through it and put ferrules on it for me. Like I can understand that $89 or $79 or what's that really cheap when everyone buys fuck, I don't know. They're all the goddamn same thing. What the fuck name says on it. But the thing is let's get things a little more intimate. I don't like when it lights all that. I'm still. I mean, my camera is like such a fucking like it's cheap. He's from China, so don't be racist, okay? Yeah, he is robot, based. He identifies as a robot, okay? And there ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, he ain't real people, but he thinks he's people. So he's got one. He's got one of them A1 programs. So they say that means that he can think for himself. I mean, I know that's bullshit, but you know what I mean. He thinks he can think for himself. Let him do it. It's just a fucking little cheap piece of equipment. Works good though. For a piece of shit, from somewhere that took all of our manufacturing away. I mean, like we really wanted it. I'm gonna tell you what, it's like I've been telling you for a couple of years now. People want to get on China. It's like, hey man, if you want to be racist, shit, okay. But I'm gonna tell you something. China is learning very quickly, and it's getting to where China is now nipping at the heels of South Korea. And then for years, South Korea's been nipping at the heels of Japan. And here's the thing, Japan already surpassed America years ago when it comes to their ability to mass produce high quality instruments. Because when they first started making Squires, they were made in Japan. Back when it's still cheap, had shit made in Japan. And when they brought over the first Squires and they put them up next to the American Strats, and the people at the factory like hung their head in shame because they were like, oh shit, these are good. And they were like, actually, you know what? These are better than ours. That's the reason why those 80s, or those very early 80s Squire Strats are kind of becoming collector's items. They're getting pricey, because, there's only so many of them. And don't worry, because there's so much better made than the American ones, they actually hold up pretty good. But that's also when they decided they were going to have to rethink some things and quit making, Strats based on just brand identity, using it as a means of selling, because they realized if they didn't get their shit together, that the Asian market, producers were going to surpass them so fucking quickly. And the thing is, I say now, it's like, I hate to say this, but I think we should just close up Fender and Gibson USA. If they want to just send all their manufacturing like somewhere like Mexico or somewhere else, or they want to send it, and I know somebody will probably want to murder my ass for saying that, but have you seen how much it costs just to have a cheap, shitty Gibson? The very entry-level Gibsons, I remember like about 10 years ago, 10 or 12, like a tribute or something edition or whatever. They're like they're a Gibson, but when you look at them, they're like, it looks cheap. Like Gibsons are supposed to look cheap. Like the Epiphones look like they're better made. Something? The $1,200 fucking tribute, like a Les Paul standard style, or like SG or whatever. You compare it to the Epiphone equivalent, the high-end Epiphone equivalent, like the Epiphone, was it G400, which is supposed to be the SG standard, or even the custom version, or comparing it to like the Les Paul standard or Les Paul custom. I'm like picking up, I'm playing it, I'm looking at it, and it's like I got it, and I got the Epiphone that that's like almost half the price. Like the Epiphone's like $5.99 new. This is like $11.99 new, the Gibson, and I'm picking it up and. Yeah, this isn't. Oh, that sounds good. It's like, and yeah, it wouldn't sound that good. This cheap ass guitar beat that motherfucker all day long. And they put the most entry level pickups they can. I don't even think they're good. They're made. I might know that it says Gibson. I would not doubt if they imported Korean-made knockoff clones or just generic. I don't know what they put in those, but they don't really sound great. And then you feel the guitar doesn't feel good. Like even like the edges don't feel like the guitar is really sharp. I pick up the Epiphone, half the fucking price, and I'm like. I don't want to put it down because it feels good. It sounds good. It's kind of like, yeah, we're fucked. If that's their best value, and that's the best they can do. Oh God, let's just stop. Let's just, But now we got this problem where Epiphones, like for the really nice Epiphones, the Epiphone, Gibson tribute, which is kind of, I felt like, man, y'all really fucking took advantage of that situation. What we used to be $5.99, and then it kind of went, I kind of understand because of certain reasons it went $6.99. As long as you maintain the same quality, which I think they pretty much did. Plus, they put a little bit better headstock on the newer Epiphones. But then they came out with the Gibson one, where it's like, well, it's an Epiphone, but it's the highest grade Epiphone body, and then it's got Gibson pickups, Gibson bridge, Gibson electronics, Gibson tuner, it's like, okay, but it's like $1,300. So it's like, okay, so what you did was you took a traditional and you decide, well, we're going to make it overseas, but instead of calling it a Gibson, we're going to make it an Epiphone. But guess what? We're going to put a Gibson shaped headstock on it so they can get the open book headstock that everybody wants. It's like, they pretty much did what I kind of said they should do, except for the problem was that they fucking made it too expensive, even because it's like, if that one was made in the USA and it sucked, and for the same money, or what it cost you to buy, for the same money to have made in like fucking China or somewhere, you get a shitload better guitar. That's fucking sad. But that's the way it is. That's the reason why we have all our shit sent out there to be made. And it's like people are like, well, they have like, it's like slave labor. It's like, yeah, okay. I said, it was years ago that they started switching all that shit over there. I didn't know little kids making that shit. I didn't know this. I didn't know that. It's like, here's the thing. Ain't no way to change that. So I don't know what to do. I would feel better if they weren't, but it's kind of like I also need to have stuff. I'm an American. I'm addicted to having shit. It's like I'm like I agree with George Carlin. You ever notice how my shit is stuff, your stuff is shit. I don't have any room for my stuff because your shit's all over the fucking place. So I need stuff, and I ain't settling for shit that costs too much. But yeah, it fucking is $160. Replace the tuners. Get the Music Lily Pro vintage style fender. See, these look like that. And you see, I replaced most of the stock ones. It looks just like the ones on a fucking fender, 60s or 50s vintage, the split, shafts, except these suck. Now, I placed all but like two of these because they were so fucking bad, I could feel them crumbling while I'm turning them. And then one time, one just like crumbled and it was just like, I was like, what the fuck? I mean, like, I hadn't even had it that long. The tuners are, I've never seen a guitar with like, had these pretty decent gray body, pretty decent neck, but then I had these tuners that were like made out of fucking like ancient Roman clay or some shit. Man, what the fuck is this? So buy the Music Lily Pro. Same ones are like the 9mm shaft, vintage style split. Those are the same thing. I'm pretty sure they're made by the same manufacturer that make the ones that go on the Squire Classic Vibe, which are the ones that are on like my Seafoam Strat. I've had that guitar for like 6 years now. Those tuners still weren't really good. And they're like $20 or something. If they're like, the real is like 20 if you want to go and buy the actual same exact Squire ones from Stratosphere. They're like $25, I think. And here's the thing, Stratosphere is a great place to get stuff. It's just you have to know what you're doing, because sometimes you might order something not realizing you didn't order the right thing. Some things are a fucking steal, or it's just they're so well priced. It's like I would never go and buy Fender branded vintage split tuners for a guitar as long as Stratosphere has their Squires that come off the Classic Vibes, which are just as fucking good. They're just say made in China on them. Or I might go buy the Music Lily, which you can get from Amazon or eBay, or I don't know. Probably by now you can probably buy it at your local fucking Quickie Mart or something, because Music Lily's everywhere. They're a huge fucking manufacturer, and it's like they're I think they're the ones that manufacture only like Wilkinson. All these brands that you think are different, they're not. They're the same fucking company. They just got different, nameplates for them. Whichever one of them nameplates seemed to grab your attention and made you think it was a higher quality product, that's the one. That worked. Some are even better value than others. Like I think Fleor, Fleor. I'm pretty sure is another musical company, and their shit's even cheaper than most of the other ones. I think I thought Geiger was, but maybe it's not. I think that's like a slight step up, or it might be like Music Lily, like Pro Series or something. But yeah, the tuners are fucking garbage. Get rid of them. So sand down the edges. I mean, they're pretty good quality. I don't think I've even done a fret level on this thing. That was fine. The frets are good. They're pretty. They're pretty decent quality. They're pretty level. They're not like gigantic, overly enormous. They're not teeny tiny. The pickups, well, it said it was a jazz guitar. Now, it's got like those really thick, cheap, chrome covered, humbucker pickups in the neck, which I don't particularly care for. That's too much. Striking a balance can be difficult, especially when you're a little bit unbalanced yourself. And so the neck pickup's extra warm. That was on it. I mean, if you want something that's warm, you want warm jazz, and that's fucking it right there, because that magnet's like that fucking thick. It's got one big fat fucking like a DiMarzio Super Distortion magnet, and it's like 9.5 or 10K. You know, so it's like got that really cheap fucking 43 gauge probably cheap polysol wire, and it's decently overwound for what you're doing. And it's got brass base plates. It's got this chrome, brass, or copper, or whatever. So they're very dull sounding. They're very muffled, And then it's got it's got basically like what would be the equivalent of, like that 80s. Like they make a generic thing. It's kind of like that. It kind of explains. It's like I think Guitar Master makes that 1984, and it's basically like saying you're trying to make something that sounds like Eddie Van Halen from the album 1984, which would be like either the Seymour Duncan 12 or 13K Alnico 2 pickup they made for him, or it would basically be like a Super DiMarzio Super Distortion that Eddie took that big fat ceramic magnet out and put like an Alnico 2 out of a PAF in it. So it's supposed to be mimicking that kind of sound, but basically it's just a knockoff version of like a 13.5, 14K ceramic. The thick magnet, and then it's got that slightly over mid output or mid resistance. It's not like super high resistance, not super low. Like Super DiMarzio is only like 13.75K. And to me, it sounds more aggressive than most 15K plus. But it's also because of the fact that they decided to, instead of using 44K wire, they used 43K wire. And they wound it extra tight, and they made the bobbins a little taller, so that they could fit it on there, because they didn't want to go to 44 gauge. They wanted to keep it to 43, so they keep a little bit of low end, a little bit of high end, and then that way it even out more. And then they use that, a big, thick, powerful ceramic magnet to kind of even it out to give it that, that high output push. You don't know how fucking pickups work. Never mind. But I took them out, and remember this one, the one that was here. I'm trying to think what I did with it. Probably threw it in 5 garbage. And then this one, I think I threw that one in 5 garbage too. And I got the just throw them in 5 garbage. I ain't gonna keep it. This right here is one of those go fuck you Tron or something. It's like GF Tron. It's like a GF Tron or something. Over there that they're guitar fucking fetish, like I don't know, I like to call them the guitar perverts or something. They're a strange company, but they got some good stuff for the price. But they're I don't know, they're odd. They're odd. It's been more hit than miss, but if you get a miss, don't be surprised. But you'll probably get a lot more hit. It's kind of like I say, it's like some things are a fucking great value. Because like those pickups in that guitar behind me, those are the same pickups as that one. Now I bought a set of these, and the other one, what was weird was that these were like what they call a Brighton or something. I don't know. It's like they're supposed to be like Gretsch, Gretsch's humbuckers, except they're full size, but they're also overwound. So they're fucking weird. They do have a Gretsch kind of vibe to them, but yet they're also kind of like more for like medium, high gain. Like these are like 12.5 or 13K. They're Alnico 5, and actually I think I put Alnico 2 in this one. I got like a bunch of fucking extra magnets. It's like whatever. If I think that this is too bright, okay, maybe I'll try 4. Okay, now that one's just kind of way too flat. Okay, let's try 2, because that'll still leave me a little bit of a scoop, but without too much high or low. I'll just keep swapping them out to the one that sounds good in there, because it's not like they act like they go through like fucking they get out. Like they contact, MIT or something to figure out exactly what magnet, exactly what gauge rating is. Like, yeah, fuck that shit. They're lying. They just fucking stick standard fucking magnet in there. If it's Alnico 2, bar where it's bipolar is a south and a north on each side. You know, it's the right. You know, and even the difference between the long ones and the short ones ain't that big. It's like they use the longer ones first in Gibson guitar, in the Gibson humbuckers. The very original PAFs had the long, like the ones that come in the P90. That's what they're supposed to be for, is for the P90. But they just said, fuck it, well, those will fit. We'll just do that. Yeah, we'll just stick one in each humbucker instead of the two we stick in the P90. And then later on, they decide, I don't know whether to save money or maybe it's like, you know, if we take off a little bit of magnet, it actually sounds a little better for some reason. And then they got one that's like, you know, like, I mean, it's only like 7 or 8 cut hair shorter, you know, but it's almost the same fucking thing. But, you know, you can get I always get the P90 one just for the fact that, you know, you can put the P90 too. So I modified it with an Alnico 2. I'm pretty sure it might be Alnico 3. I could be mistaken. I put a 3 in there. Usually when I swap things out, I usually put either a 3 or 4. If the Alnico 5 is too bright, I'll try 4. If the Alnico 2 is too dull, I'll try 3. But if you notice, it's got a different bezel. You know, it's got one of those thinner, because I don't particularly care for the ones on. I don't particularly care for these ones on this holler body, on this hair, on this fucking old man fucking, you know, one of them BB Kings and Chuck Berrys and, you know, all them fucking great guitar players that, you know, played on these absolutely awesome sounding guitars. Which that's just a cheap knockoff, but I heavily modified the fuck out of it. It sounds awesome. And it's got the same thing, and they sound great in there. They really do. But they were like on sale or something, you know, some like really cheap, you know, discount thing. Like they were like I had something was like, there's a slight bit of damage to the like a damage to the gold finish on the cover or whatever. I was like, okay, whatever, I'll take those. It's like, that cheap? Fuck yeah. I mean, if it looks like shit, fine. I'll pop that motherfucker off and just leave it open cool. So, but the other one here was the same. I bought 2 because they were so cheap. I was like, you know what, I'll just get 2. So I got all them I got whatever fucking magnet I want. So if I want the same thing, okay. Or if I want an adjustment, I'll do another one. So, you know, I got 2 sets. One of them was off, like it's supposed to be about an 8K on one, and it's supposed to be like 12 and a half or something, maybe a 13 on the other. Well, that's what this one is, like about a 13, 12 and a half, 13, something like that. And then, but then the neck one was like 11 and a half, and I'm like, what the fuck happened there? Like 11 or something. I was thinking, what the fuck? And I was realizing, you know what? I don't really need 2 full sets. But, you know, at 11K, even, I mean, it's a 50 millimeter, but yeah, it'll fucking work. If I want to put it in a bridge somewhere, that'll work great. I probably don't want to use it in that because it'd be a little too thick. To me, anything that gets over about 7.5K on a neck is throw it the fuck out. Unless it's like one of those thinner, ceramic magnet, humbuckers. If it's one of those big thick ones and it's like fucking 9.5, 10K, it's like, oh god, it's gonna sound like shit. It's gonna be really fucking thick sounding. But yeah, it was very, very thick sounding. And this one is a P90. Well, it's a HB P90, but it sounds just like a fucking humbucker to me. Thing is, it's not really a real P90. What it is it's a humbucker bobbin, but it's like slightly modified. It's a little bit wider. Maybe a little bit longer, and then they put 44K wire on it. They want as much fucking wire on there as they can. So it's like about an 8.25K. And what it is, if you think about it, it's like the it's like the JB knockoffs. You know, like they'll have like a 15.5 to 16.5, or maybe even 17K, dual coil and an Alnico 5 pickup. Well, they'll basically take one of the bobbins out of that, and then what they'll do is they'll put this rubber, like almost gasket thing on the outside of it, and then they'll put like this copper, like about 1/4 inch wide, but thin, like solid, almost like copper tinfoil, like copper flashing, around the outside of it, and then they'll ground that flashing to there, and then they'll put it inside of one of those, HB size, pickup base plates, and they'll put 2 magnets on each side like a regular P90, And, I bought ones that were the ceramic because I was going to I was just going to pull them out and throw them fucking ceramic ones out because those things are going to break up way too easily. This got Alnico 4s in it. It actually sounds pretty good. Usually Alnico 4s sound a little dull on the neck, but this one actually does. I might swap it out one day to a 3 because that way it had a little more scoop to it, and a little less output. It was a huge improvement over the ones in there, but to me it just sounds a lot like just a humbucker. It's about an 8K humbucker. And I know this one's actually under 8K. It's like a 77 core. I forgot because the bridge one, I got so mad at it one time. It was being a fucking bitch. And I threw that motherfucker all the way across my goddamn apartment into the fucking storage room. Get rid of it. I didn't want to see it. And it fucking damaged it. Thank God, because I didn't want to ever use that motherfucker again. But these things work great also as a bridge pickup for a Strat. Like if you want to take out your single coil, if you've got one of those pick guards for a humbucker, put that in as the humbucker pickup, and they rock the fuck out. But yeah, if you figure out how to set it up for the polarity, the wind in the direction of the wind, so it blends with the middle pickup, it actually gives a really good sound. Because like when you put a humbucker in there and then try to still do the in between the middle and the bridge, it doesn't really usually sound that great. It's usually it's still got way too much bark from the bridge pickup, and it doesn't have enough quack in it. But this actually does. But then when you put it down on the bridge, just the bridge, and you rock out on that motherfucker, it fucking kicks ass too. I kind of like it better than just having I think it actually works better than an 8K humbucker because it's about an 8K P90. And a lot of people say they prefer the sound of a P90 like for a rock guitar in the bridge. It's like the humbucker was supposed to basically be, well, what if we just had it sound just like a P90, but got rid of most of the hum, But the problem was that they were going to have at least they were going to have a little loss or low end, a little loss high end. It wasn't going to be quite as crisp sounding, but Now that's also modified. Remember, I took out the ceramics, put it out on Go 4s. Plus, I had a nickel silver base plate laying around because they come with those copper ones and they don't sound very good on the neck because they're too dull. So I found one where it's like it was, I had an extra neck, nickel silver base plate, and I basically drilled the holes down the middle of the thing so that I could stick, the pole pieces down the middle. So I put the nickel silver, and they said it would make that big. Just fuck you, it did. It make a fucking huge difference. It actually sound a lot better. They say it doesn't. They don't know what the fuck you're talking about because I've done it. Okay, and I mean it's a nice sounding guitar. It's like there's the middle. That's the in-between setting. And I'm using a K-Line Medusa, which is actually a really nice, but really affordable clone type clone pedal. I'll tell you what, I'll try also another one. This is a BB preamp clone, which I've got like all the way down. So, all right. Now that's kind of set up if you're kind of like using it more of like a boost pedal than a drive. Yes, I know I don't have a mic on the box. Every time I try to do anything that's too close, it never sounds right. I don't know if I just don't, my equipment won't work. I feel like just doing the room sound is plenty enough because I can see, the gain input, on the DAW. And it's got plenty of input. So, and usually when I hear the playback, it's plenty loud enough. It actually sounds to me a lot more like what I hear when I record that way than what than if I put the mic real close to the cab, or if I do like a direct or whatever. I don't like direct stuff. I've tried plugging it in from directly from an amp into the interface. I've tried doing the pedal board directly, and it always sounds so unbelievably sterile. Has no fucking tone. It sounds like the worst, cheap, bright, no fucking ability to have any kind of drive or game or warmth. It's terrible. So until I figure out something works better, I'm just gonna keep doing it this way. That's the bridge. Now let's put on an amp modeler pedal. I think this is either a boogie or some Marshall Plexi style. Shit's already in a fucking tune. See, those tunes fucking suck. They really do. But it is a stock style bridge. And I think it's also the stock fucking headstock nut, which is just plastic. So you got a shitty nut and you got a shitty bridge. I mean, it's an okay bridge. It still sounds pretty good just for what I use it for. It's like it does really. So, if you're willing to mod it some, they're great. I think Donners are really good to start off with. From what I can tell, from what I've seen, from even the ones I haven't bought yet, but maybe I've seen like if someone tried to use one in over there, a guitar picker or whatever, and it seems to me like the necks on them are very similar to Mono Price. Like the Strats, it's like an Alder, maybe it's Papa, it's an Alder, I think. And you use like a metallic finish. It's got like an Alnico 5 humbucker, and it's got like that engineered rosewood neck, and it's got like I think an unfinished, or at least it's not like a shiny, or it's not like a yellowy. But they got one that's a little higher end. They got one that's kind of in between, But it's like, I think it's got Alnico 5 like chrome cover like bridge pickup and 2 single coils. And single coils are probably just well, that one might be. I thought those were there's a couple of different ranges. There's one that's like super fucking cheap. That actually turns out it's like it really is just like dirt cheap. It's just Donner, put on some other fucking cheap piece of shit you probably wouldn't buy normally. But like the kind of the slightly better, the medium kind, and medium, range ones are actually pretty good. And they remind me of the Mono Price. Now, I've never owned one, but I have picked a few up and played them. And I was like, you know what? I'm actually quite impressed. I wish I would have bought one or two of these over the years. I kept trying to get one of those white ones, and I never could get one. Every time they would be every time I thought they were in stock, either I had to get something else. I said, fuck, I can't get one right now. I got to buy something else. No, I ain't spending $125 on that right now. And then like what happened is like I'll see it again and it'll be like, oh shit, now they're down to like $92. Fuck. And then it's like, and I need to get that, probably next week. And I go back and it's like, it's out of stock. It's like, some motherfuckers, like I got paid and then the motherfucker's out of stock. And I go back again. It's like, oh, now it's $147. Great. And it varies. Here's the thing. It's usually cheaper if you go to Amazon than if you go to Monoprice's website. But Monoprice tends to have stuff on their website that's you cannot find on Amazon. That's like fucking great deals. And basically, like their amp stuff and their cabs, they're all just fucking the Harley Bentons. So I think they're actually cheaper than going and buying it from the Harley Benton store and Reverb. So, but everyone talks about how if you were going to buy a guitar that's around $100, what is the absolute end all be all best guitar for someone to buy, like say for a beginner, like the first guitar or maybe their second guitar, and everyone says hands down anything that's on like $150, yeah, go buy a Monoprice. Yeah, that Monoprice, that Cali Strat, oh yeah, it's a full thickness, basswood body. I mean, yeah, it's got a thin fucking bridge, but it doesn't matter. If it's got those lower output ceramic pickups, then the bridge ain't gonna matter anyway. I actually like the lower output ceramic pickups. There's like 4.25K pickups. Those things sound good. I mean, I like them because they're very clucky and junky in sounding, but hey, to eat his own, man. What it said, so eat your own and shut the fuck up. But that's what the thing is, like those strats that are like around $150 to $200 or maybe 120 something to like around $200. They seem like that rosewood or maybe it's the engineer rosewood neck looks and feels exactly like Monoprice. If you like that Monoprice, it's like the same thing, probably the same body, but a couple other things are kind of upgraded. I wish I get one of those Monoprice. I wanted the white one because I don't have like an all white Strat. It's like a slightly off white. And then it's got like the white pick guard, and it's got like the maple neck. Because I was like, I don't know. The engineer rosewood. Sometimes I like them, sometimes I don't. That one's engineer rosewood. It fucking feels and sounds great. My Les Paul is engineer rosewood. It feels and sounds great. The neck on that fancy ass damn white stripe with a black binding. That's also an engineer rosewood neck that actually plays and sounds pretty good, pretty nice. That's actually off of a Leo Jam Strat that was just all wrong. I don't know. Most people say a lot of good things about Leo Jams, but this thing just wasn't right from the get go. The neck, you should see the fucking bolt holes for the neck. Like on the neck pocket, it's all it's cross-eyed as fuck, man. It is not straight. I mean, I'm gonna tell you what, man. An old man's dick straighter than that fucking shit. It's kind of like for a thin line telly. I like it. I mean, it's like a 40, it's like about a 43 millimeter thickness. So, it's like, like the Guitar Fetish Lido, which the Lido and the GFX is almost the same fucking thing. One's just a little bit thicker. It's 2 millimeters thicker, so it's more like American, spec thickness. And the other one's like, it's kind of like the older Squire, like when the Classic Vibe first came out. I think actually now they're different, but it's more like it's like, you know what it's like? It's like this, because this is a Lido. It's just slightly thinner. Some of the GFX is like alder, some is that ash, but they say it's ash, but I doubt it's from the U.S. Like they'll say, well, it's northern ash or Asian ash. If it ain't swamp ash, I'd stay away from it. It looks like ash, but if it ain't, like I said, if it don't say swamp ash, I probably just stay away from it. I'm betting the poplar, which is probably even cheaper, is probably a better option. I'm just saying, because they can be really fucking so goddamn tightly, like the something about the density of it. It's kind of like when people try to use oak to make guitars. If it doesn't dry right, or you don't seal it properly or whatever, just fucking setting that thing down one day, it might just split the fucking body straight down. It's a weird fucking wood. And the swamp ash there's a reason why, because swamp ash is from southern U.S. like from where the fuck we get alligators from. And it's all the ash wood that has actually grown underneath the water. And it especially seals it in a way that it's extremely durable. And it also tends to be relatively lightweight compared to other stuff. And it's like lighter weight. It has a really good resonant tone, and it's usually, it's just the way to go. If you're going to get one, get that. Anything else is going to be super, super hard. It's like using young growth, maple that would be like bright as fucking shit for a guitar body. I've seen maple guitar bodies, people say they sound good, but I guess it's kind of how you put it together too. But this is a poplar Lido, which is essentially Like this is supposed to be for their import. You know, like this is like if you have an import guitar you want to replace by, well, that'll be an import size neck. And sometimes they're right about that. Sometimes it's a little off. That's a GFX neck though I put on it. So it's like I've learned if you're gonna buy a neck, buy their best ones they have. You know, sometimes the Leos are okay, but you know what I don't like about them? The fucking the you know right here where the neck pocket is, they're too thick. They sit too far off of the neck plate, and it feels like your pickups are too far away. I feel like you can't, like you're gonna run out of screw to jack up. Your I don't know why they just like they do that. Just fuck with us. It's like, oh yeah, you want something that's 2 millimeters thinner? Okay, well shell out another fucking 1175, motherfucker. Because guess what? That's what you get for trying to save fucking money. But the Bonnies are okay. Although that's another problem. Is the neck plate's a little shallower. By like I don't know, like maybe I'd say 1 3/4 count hairs. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's only like 1.1752 count hair, something like that. I don't know. Maybe it is a little thinner though. It's slightly less depth, just because the body's a little thinner. So they're trying to even it out. But they put a guitar that has the necks that go on it, and then that series are like way too thick right here. Like the ones at GSP are pretty close to like American spec, 25 millimeter. But you check and look and see, it's like especially in the discount section, always look at them specs on that little card in that picture. Sometimes you'll find one that's great, and sometimes you'll find one like that thing is 28 millimeters thick. Fuck that shit, which means it's 3 millimeters taller than an American spec. And that's why it's like if I've gotten to where. With some of these, I'll find ways to just kind of shave it down. Problem is, if you try to do it by hand, you'll never get it really flat again. So unless you got someone who's just like fuck that Matt, unless you got like Jedi mind trick shit, or you're like a fucking super ninja with a goddamn chop saw or a table saw or something, it's really difficult to get them things flatter again, or get just to take off a millimeter or two. It's very difficult and keep it level and flat. You probably won't have to use shim when it's done. Now, I did that on this or on this one. I took the neck down a little bit because the fucking neck is so goddamn tall. Like the neck here was so fucking tall. And I was actually going to put this neck on something else. I was going to put that PRS neck on there, and that was a couple years ago. And I think I'll put it on there again. I promise every time I do that, then I realize I don't want to put this on that strap, and I don't really have anything for the other strap. But I'm arguing with the my other personality that's gonna come in later and then fucking emotional abuse me about my decisions with my guitar placement, my necks and shit. You should have put it on the other one, you stupid fat motherfucker. I know. You should see me argue with myself. It's fucking hilarious, man. I mean, it scares the shit out of my doctor, but but he don't get the joke, so whatever. Fuck him, But yeah, you should get one of these. They're great. If you want to, one of these, what? Actually, fuck that. If you're gonna get something that's like this, just go ahead and buy the fucking bodies that are like this at GFX on the clearance. But wait till they're on sale. Yeah, I don't care if fucking guitar partners get pissed off that I'm telling you to wait until there's a sale like 4th of July. They'll put them like 30% off. So it's like they're already marked down. So it's like $100 guitar body, right? And then they mark it down. The thing is, they mark it down like the most pussy chicken shit marked down. It's like marked down like $10 from $100. So it's $90. But if you wait till like something like right now, I'm not sure, but knowing them, there's always a fucking big sale. At 4th of July, because they're a bunch of fucking Republican motherfuckers in there. They get fucking hard on for anything that involves nationalism. So I'm sure they got a big sale list, probably about 30% off. And so that means at $90, you're going to get almost a third off. So you'll get like a $100 neck for a little over $60, or a $100 guitar, body, or whatever. But you can get a GFS neck. It's pretty nice. I mean, or you can go buy something somewhere else or whatever. But if you're going to get the necks, only get the GFX. I wouldn't get the Litos. And I wouldn't get don't get anything but the GFX, okay? Just take my word. If you buy anything else, I'm gonna come in your house and I'm gonna whoop your fucking ass right in front of your fucking wife and your kids, okay? And then you can buy like one of their clearance bodies, You know, and the thing is let's say you prefer the strat-shaped style headstock. Well, you can get one of them, a 22 fret, and then stick it on. But check all the specs. Remember, make sure you match it up so it's all right. And be careful because sometimes in there they'll mix Lido and GXP in the clearance section. I'm gonna tell you something. Clearance is the best fucking brand there is, man. It's good. It's cheap. Whenever it says clearance, I don't know who the fuck that dude is, but he makes great shit real cheap. And they got that clearance thing. I don't know why clearance is making GFX, fucking, guitar fetish shit, but they got it on there, and Clarence has got his section there. You look for Clarence, he'll fucking hook you up. It's great. It's great shit. It's cheap. It's here's the other downfall of GFS is that they don't include shipping. Now they do tell you that we will have it to you in 2 to 3 days. Yeah, if you're willing to get fucked up the hassle on shipping, there's an option. Go with USPS because if for a neck and a body and maybe a couple other parts, it's probably going to cost you about $50 in shipping. But still, overall, it's still going to be cheaper than a lot of other things. So, just depends. But you can piece together what you want. I mean, as if you're a fucking man knows how to turn a fucking screwdriver. If you can play fucking guitar, you can put a fucking guitar together. I get tired of these motherfuckers that can play guitar. And they're like, well, I'm just not into the things. Like, how about you at least know how to fucking replace your pickups? I've seen these fuckers that go and pay people like $150 to replace a $100 set of pickups. What the fuck's the matter with you? Are you one of them fuckers that can't replace it? Can't change the flat? Because that not really turns your fucking girlfriend on. I got it like for that. It's like, do you not know how to change a tire? Because that would really get me wet. To see a man do something fucking manly for a change. I mean, sure know that. I miss Atlanta because we had a large, LGBTQ, plus community, one of the largest in the world. And I used to love it because the fucking gay guys they would fucking sexually harass me whenever I went anywhere near Midtown, right? And then like the same thing with the trans women, the same thing. They love when a guy does guy shit. It's like, and even like the original equipment women, this usually some bitch with purple hair that won't shut the fuck up about everything that he ain't never experienced, for herself in her life. It's like I kind of miss stuff like that. It's like, if I get a flat tire in Midtown, oh yeah, some pretty trans lady riding by, in her fucking Mercedes, he's gonna honk a horn and go, yeah, sexy baby, get out there and work it. When I got like my plumber's ass hanging out in the middle of fucking, Piedmont Avenue. By the park, I was like, shit, come on, I better be careful. I mean, I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying they're thinking about that shit. I know that. Oh, I know that. You ain't never felt what it's like to be truly stalked, checked, harassed. That you've been in fucking Burkhart's, man, in Atlanta. Holy shit, man. They look at me and they're like, oh, fresh meat, baby. He's a fucking man, too. Hell yeah. It's like they like that. I don't know what it is. Maybe the old-fashioned type lady, the ones with the vaginas on. Maybe they ain't real into that. They want a guy that acts like he is a walking vagina. Don't be a fucking walking vagina, okay? I mean, try not to. I mean, fuck, man. I've known. How many women I used to change their own fucking tire? And I'm talking about the old-fashioned kind of women, And dudes nowadays are like I got like an app that like there's a dude that'll come out here and do that. It's like you've become a bitch. Yep. Bitch is not a gender, it's a state of mind. But yeah. I'm glad I got this back together because I kind of need something like this. I mean, it's not a traditional Strat or a traditional Telly. It is a thin line. I wanted a thin line with a regular Fender bridge. Well, I don't like Fender neck pickups. I always swap them out with a Strat pickup. But what's great about this is that it sounds great on slide. If I can find that motherfucker, because it's goddamn glass, so it's invisible and it always hides from me. It's like fucking Wonder Woman's goddamn jet. Good luck finding that shit. Especially when you fucking Mr. Magoo blind like I am. I'm gonna start verbally abusing you motherfuckers more often. Y'all need it. I need to start being kind to people. Quit being so fucking hateful. As a matter of fact, Go flirt with a trans woman this way. Just make them feel special, okay? I love that shit. Oh man, make her fucking day. I mean, be careful. Don't go too far, you know, because they'll get a little excited, you know. And hey, they still got that strength, so be careful. In my time of dying. I can't sing it right past. Just imagine. Yeah, I think I got the song, light song I called the Learned Helplessness Blaze. God damn it. I gotta practice on my slide again because I kind of lose. I don't fuck with shit for a long time, and then you know it's like I always want losing. Plus, I kind of probably need to adjust some of the saddles, make sure you know it doesn't. Plus, I taught myself how to do it the wrong way, which is kind of difficult. You know, you're supposed to use like one of your, you know, you're supposed to use one of your fingers to like mute it, and I kind of developed this thing where I always kind of like rest them on top. Because I'm more worried about controlling the slide and controlling, you know, the vibrato than I am about, you know, the buzz. And plus, I guess I also kind of did do it kind of like, maybe I listened to too much Joe Walsh because I think he does that on purpose because he fucks shit up. He fucks shit up like I do too. You know, he's a badass slide player. It's like he'll do like. Like he does not ever pull that thing up off of there. You know what I mean? Like some people will just kind of like. And you know, but he'll just kind of like whatever it is. He just always lets it just play all the. Like Jimmy Page likes to kind of leave that ringing, you know, a couple notes there at the end, which, what in the fuck? Oh, okay, never mind. Something barely coming through one of my blinds. So like there's something lighting up or something. It's like it's shining right on my red shoes that are sitting on top of that table over there. It's like fuck. In my time of dying. He records it in A, but then he kind of switches up and he plays it in G live. And then I think he just basically, instead of using a G tuning, I think he just plays it standard tuning because it's in G. And he just uses those three strings. Like, you know, that's all you need, really. Warren Haynes will tell you that. He'll vouch for it. I never can get that. I never can get it quite right, though, because he has this certain like way of, like the way he moves the slides, like he changes like the speed of his descent. Come here. I don't know what it is. He does all these idiosyncrasies about way he plays. He's fucking impossible to like learn how to play like him or copy him. People say, oh, he's sloppy, he's lazy. He's like, good luck learning how to fucking play Black Dog, motherfucker, especially if you can get it right. Probably Joe Budden Moss might be the only motherfucker on the planet and got him to get it right one try. Sometimes I'll set E, open E or open G or open D, and just play around. I mean, really, the thing is, they'll teach you something when you first learn it off is this fret. So, because it's in standard G. You're going to play them 3 right there because that's part of the G chord. There's only part of the G chord that lays out like a G chord without changing anything. As long as it's those 3 strings, and then it's like that fret, which would be the 3rd fret, the 5th fret, the 7th fret. Sometimes the 9th, but then sometimes not. I don't know. I'm not sure why. Which is essentially the end of the full scale. So. If you want to get a glass one, get one of these big, thick motherfuckers. I like them big. I like a big, thick one, man. They fucking I like what it feels. The reason why I like the way it feels is because like sometimes you need something that's got some weight to it. So you but if it's got a little weight on it, you actually better control the action of it, and it'll sit on the strings better than not buzz. Because I've had ones that were thin and they buzzed all the fucking time. Or you can be a real blues man and do like I've done for years, which is this is something I've had since I lived in California. This is one of them fucking weirdo hippie like fucking sitting around smoking dope with your fucking neighbor kind of deal where I exchanged something that's virtually worthless for something that's virtually worthless. But this was part of a wind chime that a guy had on his back porch. It's just half-inch copper pipe. This has been a very popular thing to use back in the day because this is something they can get a hold of because they rip this shit off the fucking white man's goddamn house, and use it for fucking slide. And they use a liquor bottle or they use a wine bottle, but that's glass. That's a little more difficult deal. Well, you can just take a fucking hacksaw this shit right here, and then you just kind of sand the edges of it a little bit every time it wears down. Doesn't sound the same. It's not quite as sweet or bright, but it does sound good. It has kind of like a vintage kind of I sound like, I'm from, Clarksdale or some shit. Because, I'm a bad motherfucker. But, because I got the right shit. Route 20 fucking lines. Now, if you do open tuning, all those, fret position I showed you, you can use the whole fucking thing, whatever individual, or, as long as it sounds like shit, you may even want to change things up, but, as long as it sounds good, it's okay. But, that's a middle thing, too. That always sounds good on middle save for some reason when you're playing a slide. I mean, it's a little smoother on the neck, but it's a little, Oh, I don't have the volume all the way up, too. I'm pretty sure it's actually considerably louder in my headphones than it is in the space, which is kind of weird. It's like, I don't know the way this mic picks up. And it can sound good on the bridge even without like a heavy amount of gain. Listen to this blues. That was a little loud. The tuners are shit. Or like, you know, like that dude, that really that fucking hilarious guy is over Scotland or England, where I don't know. It's where, you know, it's where people who are like extra white, like if you're like Caucasian plus, you're from like this island just north of France, you know. Actually, there's these two islands, and there's like 3 or 4 different kinds of people, and they all look the fucking same, which means they all look like they ain't got one fucking drop pigment in any of them, and they all fucking hate each other. The only thing they hate more is one of the ones that's from one of the other islands. And I think he's fucking great luthier. He makes guitars and shit, and he reviews guitars. What he does, he gets it like a cheap piece of shit. You know what he does? If he can't get it perfect, he'll fucking mod the shit out of it till it is. Like he'll take like a fucking $89 guitar, and he goes, well, he goes, the frets up. The fucking shit. That's what the fucking shit. So we're gonna put some fucking, you know, we're gonna put some stainless steel on there, you know. And it's like I can't. I still work. I wish I could do that. Fuck more of their accents, you know. I love it, fucking English accent, especially when they're really witty, like smart ass motherfucker, you know, like him. He's hilarious. Oh, that dude's funny. And you'll learn shit too. It's kind of like, but he's like totally. He's just anything. He's got that gift to get. There's no fucking way he's writing that shit. He's just flying with it. He's like an improv comic, kind of like I am, but yeah, I'm always tired and bored and whatever. But plus, I got other fucking shit wrong with me. And check it out. I think it's called Mile House Studios, like Mile House. One word, it's like MILEHOUSE, and then studios, or maybe it's Milo House or Mill House. I thought it was like Mill House. Like that would sound right. Mill House, like a house like they used to fucking, you know, make, you know, mill. You know, like they make doors and windows and, you know, casings and, you know, fuck. Oh, y'all probably don't, because nobody knows what the fuck that shit is anymore. And I don't know, it might be his name, like his last name, Mile House or something. I don't know. Kind of a weak name, but real strong character. You know, I mean, he's funny as shit. He's like, it's fucking shit, so we're gonna fucking put, you know, like, and that's the thing is, he's honestly like, nah, it's fucking shit, so we're gonna, it's not bad, you know, and he's trying to be like cool, you know, it's like, but then he gets stuff in, it's great, you know, like, oh, this is really great, you know, no, we're just gonna set it up, that's it, you know, and then he'll make guitars from scratch, you know, like really nice guitars from scratch, he'll raffle them off for charity or something, you know, and I'm sure to get people to watch he's fucking hilarious, so, Mile House, watch that, fucking great. Alright, I'm gonna get the fuck off here from my neighbors if I call police complain about me. You know, it's a trying times right now. You gotta be careful. Alright, say hi to your mom and them for me, all y'all. And love you, bye. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell your family members. Tell everyone you fucking run into. They better watch this shit or I'm gonna fucking harass them. I am not, but you know what I mean. Sometimes the right kind of threat can't work because it's not really a threat. You know what I mean? It's meant in satire. I mean, if they they misunderstand this in satire, it's not my fucking fault. Unless they're watching. See what I mean? You know, the best thing to do is, you know, it's like Ludacris said, what you gonna do? Act a fool, motherfucker. Bye, y'all.